Welcome back to Charleston County RoadWise. This is about the transportation sales tax program that's been going on for quite a few years now. And we've been collecting taxes, the county that is, has been collecting taxes so that we can make our roadway systems a lot better, bridges, highways, and of course smaller projects like allocations projects. And those projects have to do with pathways for bicycles and for walking. And I'm talking to my guest, Brad Jaynes. He was telling me that, in fact, this thing has been not only popular, this idea of bicycling and walking has not only been popular here, but it's probably all over the place by now.
It's certainly something you see everywhere. You see increases in bicycle usage in most cities in the United States.
I remember the time when, as a child, you would ride your bicycle to school, and there was no such thing as a school bus. I guess all of that's gone by now, though.
There are still some communities where there is bicycle use at schools. My wife is a teacher at Pepper Hill Elementary in North Charleston, and I think she told me the other day that they need another bicycle rack for their school because they're using the one they have so frequently that they're running out of spaces. So,
is it true that Charleston is considered a bicycle-friendly community?
It officially is true. There is a status with the League of American Bicyclists. There was an application submitted by the city of Charleston. I believe honorable mention was achieved. I'm not sure the bronze status was achieved at this point, although I think it has been applied for.
There is the mayor's committee, I understand, on bicycling, and I don't know if it's on pedestrian walkways as well, but I know that you've been a member of that committee.
Yeah, the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory.
It's an advisory committee,
yes.
Right. So what do you do?
Simply make recommendations on certain city projects that we need to. The city occasionally needs help with input on certain projects that might affect the cycling and pedestrian communities that they don't necessarily associate with as frequently, say, as the members of the committee.
You're aware of the many, many, many bicycle organizations in this community, for young and for old.
Sure.
And it amazed me when I looked all of this up, I Googled it up, it amazed me that there were that many people using bicycles, which means a lot to a gentleman who's responsible and whose living is made from bicycling and all of the things that go along with it. But has Charleston always been this way? Do you remember it this way as a kid?
I didn't live in Charleston as a child. I can tell you that since I've been here for the last 15 years or so that I haven't seen huge changes. I have seen some changes, but I've always ridden my bicycle just about everywhere I go in town, and I haven't found that it is any harder or easier. Just depends on the route, I guess. I would suspect that it is certainly easier for people that are not as used to using roads that are designed for cars. When you have a road that has an extra facility for a bicycle specifically, I'm sure that that's a lot easier for people that, as I said, are not so used to riding in traffic.
Well, I can tell you this without any hesitation, that the Charleston County RoadWise program, or the half-cent sales tax program, in fact, in every opportunity, tries to build a path for bicyclists and for walkers. And that hasn't been that long that they've been doing that. But it's only done when there's enough property, right-of-way property, to extend for that kind of thing. And it's usually done along with resurfacing projects. And so that's been working out nicely. But it was also interesting when the Johnny Dodds project was designed over in Mount Pleasant. Right away, the council said, we want somewhere for our citizens to walk and to ride their bicycles. But a question to you has to do with the pestiness, the fact that a lot of these folks appear to be pests. They get in the way of cars, and they don't get over when they should. They almost appear sometimes as if they own the place. Is that something we need to take care of, or just let them roll?
Well, it's certainly a minority of bicyclists, I would say, but it is an aggravation for all of us. And all of us, I mean people that ride bicycles, I mean people like myself that occasionally drive a car and ride a bicycle. it's one of those things that needs to be addressed, but I think is best addressed through modeling and through the proper education, basically, is what needs to happen. And there's a lot of that going on in Charleston. Lots of agencies and groups, like you said, that are doing their part to help make sure that people do ride more responsibly.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I remember a couple of students that I met when I was teaching over at Tech, and they were complaining about getting tickets. I didn't know that bicyclists could get tickets. I'm going to talk to you about that when we return from the break. We're going to talk about tickets, so you have to be careful.